Today's lesson is multiplying and dividing negative fractions. Multiplying. How do we multiply fractions? We see if we can simplify either of the fractions by checking either numerator or denominator for common factors. We multiply straight across, no common denominator needed, and then we apply our previously taught rules for multiplying integers. So here we go. Maybe I can extend the page. There we go. So we look to see if we have any common factors. So we do have common factors in 4 and 8. We have a 4 in common. So we divide both of those by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And I switched colors so you guys can see the common factors that I'm looking at. 9 and 3 both have a common factor of 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now we see here we have a negative times a negative, which we know will be a positive answer. So 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 2 is 6. So our answer is 1 6. We keep going to our next problem. We've got we should know, hopefully you remember this from previous work, that you cannot multiply mixed numbers. We have to make them improper. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 2 is 7 over 5, times negative 2 times 2, negative 2 times 2 plus 1 is 5, negative 5 over 2. All right, so we look again for our common factors. We've got a 5 in common here. So 5 times 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Negative 5 divided by 5 is negative 1. So now I've got 7 times negative 1 is negative 7 over 1 times 2 is 2. And that simplifies to negative 3 and 1/2. Okay, moving on. All right, how do we divide fractions? We change the division sign to multiplication and we flip the second fraction. We find the reciprocal. We follow the multiplication rules from our previous slide. We apply our previously taught rules for dividing integers. So, negative 2 sevenths times 35 sixths. 35 and 7 both have a factor of 7 in common. So 7 divided by 7 is 1. 35 divided by 7 is 5. 2 and 6 both have a factor of 2 in common. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Negative 1 times 5 is negative 5. 1 times 3 is 3. So now I just make this into a mixed number. How many 3's are in 5? 1 with 2 left over. And we keep our denominator the same, but it was negative. Okay? All right, our next problem. Negative 2 times 8 plus 5 gives me negative 21 over 8. I change my division to multiplication, and my fraction flips, right? Okay, now I look for common factors again. So this negative 21 and 7 both have a factor of 7. Negative 21 divided by 7 is negative 3, so I'm going to put 3 here. And 7 divided by 7 is 1. 8 and 16 both have a factor of 2. So 8 divided by 8, is 1. Negative 16 divided by 8 is negative 2. Okay? So now I've got negative 3 times negative 2, which is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. So I'm going to leave it just as 6. All right. Now we've got the on our own problems. Remember, all through this video, you should have been stopping it, pausing it, rewinding it as you needed to catch anything, because I'm going at the speed that I'm doing the problems, but you might have needed to write things in. And now, at this point, you need to pause this, do these problems on your own, and then come back and watch me to make sure you've got them correct. All right, so we've got -4/5 times 15/19. 5 and 15 both have a factor of 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I've got 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 19 is 19. And it had this negative sign, so it's going to go in front of the problem. In front of the answer. This last one, we've got -4 times 3 plus 2, which is -14/3. The division becomes multiplication. We're going to flip it, so I put the 9 on top first. It is negative, so make sure that negative goes in there. 3 times 9 plus 1 is 28. Now, looking for our common factors. 14 and 28 are both divisible by 14, so this becomes 1, and this becomes 2. 3 and 9 are both divisible by 3, so 3 becomes 1, -9 becomes -3. So -1 times -3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. All right, so that's our lesson. If you have questions, please make sure you bring them to class next time we see each other. Have a nice day.